Happy belated 4th, I guess I should say, for all you people who are now coming back to reality or still on vacation. As you can see around me, Trevor's cleaning up and moving stuff around. What we're standing in right now, which has been a glorified storage center for the last 2 years, is actually going to become a room where we have full, complete tank setups to actually sell and show you kind of how they would look in your living room. It's going to be what I would call more of a showcase. Off the floor where we can do some designs and things like that, put some new packages together and stuff like that. So you're going to want to watch this space in the next couple of weeks as it transforms into hopefully something that has some really cool tank designs and stuff like that. Also, one of the other things I want to talk about real quick is I'm going to be in the store more starting in August. And one of the things that I'm going to be doing is putting together some classes on tank design and things like that I would love to have your involvement with, as far as would you want to actually attend a classroom type situation where we can talk about aquarium design, things about the tank, and just whatever kind of feedback you can give me. So it's still a little hazy right now as far as in my imagining with what we're going to do, but we're going to do something. So having said that, let's get right onto the fresh and saltwater fish this week. Anytime I get showy live bears, you know I'm going to put them forefront in the video. This week is no exception. Some electric, platinum looking guppies came in this week, as well as some that have really pretty leopard patterns on the tail. The male guppies that came in this week are phenomenal. If you've got a small tank, if you're just starting out in the hobby or got a young child that's starting out, this is a super fish to start them with. Very easy to keep. Don't need a lot of space, so definitely want to check these out. Absolutely beautiful young albino tiger ostriches came in this week. Patterns look great, fin work looks great, the health of these fish look great. All in all, super fish. Don't know when the last time or the first time or when we've had these, but these white neon tetras, absolutely phenomenal. Different twist on your normal neon tetra, but they are really cool to look at. And what you notice with these are a lot of differences in the neon pattern in the fish. Even though the pattern is the same, the whiteness kind of breaks it up, and some of them actually look like they have stripes, horizontal stripes, vertical stripes, so they look a bit different while still being a neon tetra. Absolutely cool patterned whiptail Loricaria came in this week. This is a fantastic looking fish that is totally different. You can see another one if you want to see the difference in some of the patterns of the scales that came in. Same exact fish with two completely different colors. This black one really has me enamored at the moment just because it's phenomenal. They almost look like they have snake-like patterns like you sometimes see on Polypterus. Beautiful fish, something different, cool algae eating type / scavenger fish. And I got, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So really cool this week. How about a school of these beautiful fish in your freshwater tank? If you've got a semi-aggressive tank, you would do hard to do something better than this. These are the electric platinum neon tiger barbs. Pretty fish. A little bit of a fin nipper. Will cause you some problems if you have a very complacent tank or a community tank with small things like neons, but as you can see, if you have a little bit larger fish, they're fantastic. South American leaf fish. If you want a fish that looks like a leaf, or you want a leaf but will contend to have a fish, this would be the fish for you. Very much, as you can also see, they kind of change their colors, or they can change the intensity of their colors to kind of look like their surroundings, and they literally look like a leaf. Don't let that fool you. They are anything but a complacent fish. They've got a fairly large mouth, so you don't want to keep these with anything that's really busy or really small. I'll have to have Richard correct me on this, but it looks like these are silver Ojeda Garfish. I don't know what the ultimate outcome of these are. I should know this before the video, but this is failure on my part, just moving through really fast. But they are a pretty garfish, especially the tail and the ocellated spot close to the back caudal fin. Beautiful garfish, and I've got a lot. So these are some small sized ones and not a garfish we see very often. Flagtail Prochilodus, that's what we're going with. Maybe it's Prochilodus, but we're going with Prochilodus. If you're out there on YouTube, you feel free to correct me so that I know the proper pronunciation. I used to know it years ago, but I don't see this fish very often, so I see it, but in the moment, I have to show it to you because the Flagtail Prochilodus, is a gorgeous fish. It's different, and we've got a couple. Okay, an albino crayfish. Really, really cool. I've got 2 of them this week. Beautiful, and the cool thing about it is it's small right now. So you could get it in an environment that was semi-aggressive, I would say, and not have to worry about it too terribly much. Or you could give it its own environment like we have temporarily and just have a really, really cool crayfish. Okay, a nice, beautiful garfish. How about a Florida gar? Very simple, not much to have to worry about in terms of the alligator variety, and if it getting too huge too fast, although it does grow very fast, and you will have to contend with that at some point. Does need a big tank, but a beautifully patterned, inexpensive gar for the size. Pink kissing gouramis are in this week. We don't get these every week. It used to be when I was a kid and went into a fish store, you couldn't walk into a fish store and not see kissing gouramis. But we don't get them as often as we used to. These are some beautiful specimens. They're a great size, and a little known fact, when they're kissing each other, they're actually fighting. If you've got some space in a semi-aggressive tank, kissing gouramis might be for you. Okay, I'm not going to do saltwater this week. I'm going to leave it to our saltwater manager. Reagan, take it away.
What up, y'all? It's Reagan with Fishy Business. Got my first shipment of saltwater fish in today. The second one, again, will come in on Friday. So again, keep your eyes peeled on Facebook for a separate update for those. But for today, let's go take a look at some of the cool things that I got in this morning. Up first is this black Volitan lionfish. Lionfish in general are very hard for me to get regardless of the species, so I always like to point them out when I get them in since it is very rare that I actually can get some in. Volitan lionfish, as well as all lionfish, are a venomous species, so just be careful knowing that this guy is venomous. They are more aggressive, more predatory. They will eat shrimp and small fish if hungry enough and if they get the opportunity, so be aware of that as well. But your lionfish are typically going to perch on your rockwork, kind of like this guy is doing right now. They don't necessarily like to hide once they acclimate very well, so this is going to be a good statement piece fish that's going to be out most of the time so that everyone can enjoy them. Alright, so this is the first time that I have gotten these in. It might be the first time the store has had them, at least for a long while. This is the Creole Wrasse, and I got in a good handful of them today. The Creole Wrasse is actually a type of anthias, which is why you can put a school of them together, kind of like what I have in here with some of my other anthias. The Creole Wrasse, these guys, I've been told, have wonderful personalities. They will immediately swim up to you when you walk in the room. Some have even been taught to be hand-fed from their owners. Almost like a puppy dog personality with these guys, and it's super cool if you get a school of them. They have a gorgeous fuchsia purple color that's really just gonna come out. These guys came in this morning, so they're even not super colored up all the way, but these guys are fantastic. Definitely come get them while I have them. So up next is a very fun tang called the lipstick tang, or better known as the Naso Tang. So the Naso Tangs are a very hardy tang species. You can pretty much put them with any type of fish, peaceful community, as well as more aggressive predatory fish. So the Naso can fit in almost any type of tank that you might have. Again, they're very hardy fish. They can get along with other tanks as well. They do get fairly large, so at some point when it gets full grown, you will need a decent size aquarium to house this guy, but I cannot recommend the Naso or the lipstick tang enough. Alright, so I always like to point these guys out when I get them. These are the blue-faced tilefish. I wish I could keep these guys in stock constantly for you, but unfortunately I'm not always able to get them, so I always point them out. Blue-faced tilefish, as well as all tilefish, are very scaredy cat type fish. They're very flighty. They will jump out of your tank, so if you get a tilefish, 110,000,000%, you need a lid. I promise you it'll jump out. But these guys are some of the most peaceful and some of the most docile fish in the entire saltwater world. They really should only be kept with other peaceful, docile fish as well. Because they are so scaredy, they really do need those community type fish to be able to live peacefully without hiding constantly like this guy is right here. So this is a golden rabbitfish. This guy has already colored up super nice. He is a gorgeous bright gold yellow mustard color. This guy is stunning. Now, like most rabbitfish, he is venomous. So on his dorsal fin and on his anal fin, there are spines that will produce some venom. So just be wary of that if we get this guy whenever you reach in to do maintenance. But other than that, the golden rabbitfish is going to be, I think, more of a peaceful fish based on my experience with them. I have him in here with a whole tank full of clowns, and he is absolutely amazing. These guys are going to be more of a carnivore, so make sure we do feed them things like mysis shrimp and brine shrimp and things like that to support their diets. But this guy is absolutely gorgeous, has a beautiful teal colored eye as well that you can see in the video. Definitely come check out my golden rabbitfish. This is one of my favorite little puffers. This is the Valentini saddle puffer. So these guys are definitely a smaller bodied puffer. They're going to stay a lot smaller in size. So even if you have a smaller saltwater aquarium and you really want that puffer fish, this guy is going to be a great option for you. So he's called the saddleback puffer because you see those really dark brown lines running from side to side across his back that look like a saddle. The Valentini puffer is going to be more of a predatory fish. It will eat snails, crabs, and inverts and things like that, but otherwise it is not going to be aggressive towards any of your fish. This one has beautiful freckles, bright yellow tail. It can get along with mostly anything because it does stay a little bit smaller. Valentini saddle puffers are just so cute, and they do really make a great fun addition to any tank. So it's very rare that I get a Watchman Goby and a pistol shrimp to pair up because I can't order them as a pair, so I kind of just have to throw them in a tank and hope for the best. Now, this is very cool because I have a banded Watchman Goby, which is red and white right in front of you, that has paired up with a tiger pistol shrimp that is also red and white. The coloration of these two guys is freaking fantastic. They have formed that symbiotic relationship. The tiger pistol right now is hiding under the rock, but what he does is he builds his little rock hole underneath, and so he'll pull sand and do things like that, and the Watchman Goby will actually stand guard outside of the hole to help keep the hole safe, to help keep the pistol shrimp safe as well. Like I said, the fact that these have become a bonded pair is very rare. You definitely need to come grab this pair while I still have them. So last but not least for you guys today is one of my favorite inverts, and I don't get them in very often, but this is the pink cocoa worm. I showed it months ago when I was finally able to get them in, and I finally got them again. These things are just absolutely stunning. Like, I could seriously stare at them all day. So these guys are filter feeders, and they will need to be fed by you a couple times a week with some phytoplankton. So be wary of that if we decide to get one of these guys, but they're filter feeders. You'll watch their little tube feet. They'll actually spin and spiral around. These guys are absolutely stunning. They are gorgeous. They're so pretty. Definitely a reef safe. You need reef safe fish if you're going to keep one of these, because a lot of times they'll nip at the little tube feet for fish that aren't reef safe. But I can't say enough about this guy. It makes a gorgeous, colorful addition to your tank.
So here at Fishy Business, we just wanted to show you a couple of corals that we got in. This is called real pretty Leuphastria, one of my favorites. And then if you look a little bit lower below it here, this is a lepto. His stingers are all out. He's really happy. Just did a water change, so he's like, oh, blue waters. This is one of the last ones we have. It's also one of my favorites. It's just like a wiggly worm. It's real soft to the touch. I wouldn't advise touching it. Some people get stung by it. It's one of my favorite corals. It's a hammer. Just a normal old hammer. We have the classic yellow octo spawn. One of my all-time favorites. It's also just a big wiggly worm.
Okay, so as you can see, the Chase Man is busy putting out product. We got a lot of new things in this week. Next week we'll be back with some information on a possible giveaway this month. And we will also be talking about a few other things. We also might have a different kind of weekly update, as our dear Connor will be in New York, and we have to figure out how we're going to survive without him. So I hope you have a great week. I hope you've had a safe 4th, safe week. Give me some feedback on maybe some classes or some things that you would want to see. Would you want to see some more aquarium design? Would you maybe prefer it on YouTube as opposed to coming in for a class? I'm going to have some more time being in the store, so I'm going to be able to help you with more things. And yeah, until next week.